We are live. Are live. Walking.
Whenever you come in touch with true love, you can never get enough. You'll always find yourself wanting a little more, just a little more love. I woke up this morning to my favorite morning show, but the same sad news from yesterday was on the radio. I woke up this morning to my favorite morning show, but the same sad song from yesterday was on the radio. Too long in the same situation, the world in a new direction. Too long in the same situation, the world in a new direction. Too long in the same situation, the world in a new direction. You know it's the same in a way. I live one love in harmony. I used to understand it, but you and me. I live one love in harmony. I used to understand, but you and me. Oh, for the children is dying, hearing them cry. Only to get together somehow find a better solution. Voices aloud for all to hear, and we can hear their cry. Just let them know that someone cares, so we can all rejoice. In harmony, I misunderstanding, but you and me. A little more love, in harmony. There, you and me. Little more love, little more love. Love can be much better if we all join hands together. Brothers and my sisters, don't have to be so bitter. All up to the choice we made, depending on faith. We could live together as one, united, standing strong. In a family, I just understand that you and me, a little one. In a family, I just understand that you were with me, a little one. In a family, I just understand that you and me, a little one. In harmony, I just understand that every day I wonder. In harmony, I just understand that you and me, I wonder. It's harmony,
Yes. And I'm going to play one more. Yes, next one I'm going to play. Welcome to each and every one. I see all my UK masses them logging. This going to be
life is an illusion.
Yes, right, it's so nice.
Just a point of view.
Yeah.
It sometimes makes me happy.
Right, it's all right.
Sometimes it makes me blue. And at times I wonder, where is this place for me? Brother, it's no wonder I don't take me seriously. There is no reason why no man on earth can fly like angels, birds, and bees who take themselves like me. Yeah. Rastafari, 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 Rastafari. We're in a situation, we're living every day. What a joyful feeling! I just got to say that it's really important. Somewhere in my life, I will find a feeling of human spirit life. Ooh, there is no reason why no man I can't just birds and bees who make themselves like Rastafari, I tell them all about you. Tell them all about you.
Libra.
All right. We're in a situation, we're living every day. What a joyful feeling! I just got to say, shine on over brightly, face towards the light, where you'll find a way of human spirit life. Ooh, there is no reason why no man on earth can fly like angels, birds, and bees who take themselves like me. Yeah. Rastafari,
Yes, 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 yes. Father, you hear me good?
Yes, I.
Blessed Lord Selassie the first. But you know what, man?
Rastafari.
Before we start the whole aspect of the interview, I want you to greet them in the mighty name. And you know what I'm talking about. Bless the room.
Well, I would like to greet each and everyone in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. The real man that was crucified that they call Jesus, was we say Jesus, Yeshua, the redeeming Messiah. I would also like to greet each and everyone in the name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, King of Kings and Lord of Lords, conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah, the restoring Messiah and the fulfillment of prophecy. Jah Rastafari. Yes, good time to be with the Mr. 555, you know?
Father, may I tell you, this is a pleasure in sitting in your presence. You know what I say? And we have so much, as I tell you, say, you keep me up. And definitely worthwhile. You understand? And we have so much to talk about. And without further ado, I'm going to get into it. You know, you have your legacy stands out so much. Your catalog stands out so much of the amount of work that you've been doing, the amount of, you know, things that you involve yourself in. You know what I'm saying? It's so much of a blessing. And you are so blessed you probably don't even realize how much you're being blessed so far. First started out, you know, as a youth coming up in Maypen. You went to Spanish Town, all age. What school was that? Eh?
Well, I actually finished school in Maypen. When I went to Spanish Town, I started learning trade, barbering. You know, I never really go back to school.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I know that you started out in the family business because the father had a grocery shop, right? But know that. You get me?
That's something very special that I give thanks to my parents for the opportunity.
Yes.
That at the age of 16, at the age of 15, 16, my parents had a shop in Spanish Town. And, you know, my mother was a very religious woman and she spent a lot of time with church. And my father was a very hardworking man and he would work at the Alcan Backside Company. So they were always busy.
Alcan, that you're talking here, that's in Williamsfield? Okay.
No, when you say
Alcan
Williamsfield, what are you talking about?
It was the
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Alcan, yes. So, both of them was busy. So, at the age of 15, 16, I was running a grocery store.
You was the businessman for the business.
Yes, glory to Jah.
And I tell you, nice. So, ladies and gentlemen, we definitely let me give thanks and praise for those who I see in the room right now. I got Jules from the UK, Essex, Tracy Ward, bless up yourself. I got Ben C from the UK, Lee Bridge from the UK, Lancaster. I got Desiree from the UK. Whoa. Sally Ann from the UK. I have Glenda from Florida. I got Tatia Dempster, she's from New Jersey. Suzanne from the UK. Rasuki from the UK. Claire from the UK. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Guys, I need you guys to share the page. Mona from the UK. Thank you. I have Michael from the UK. Whoa. And I have Coco, blessed love Coco from the UK. I got Sophia Gordon. So Sophia Gordon, I don't know where you're located, but blessed love. You understand? Definitely blessed love on the thing. Now, Russ Denroy Morgan. So at that early age, you being the businessman, the man for, you know, your parents at say 19, what I should say now, 1965, you decide to migrate into the States. Am I correct with that?
Yeah.
Right, so you
That's accurate.
All right, so you migrated in 1965, and then at that time, you say, I'm from Jamaica. I don't want nothing hand down to me because I'm a hard working man. And I want to work. So you decide to go work in a factory.
Yes.
You following me?
That's correct. In Brooklyn.
All right. So,
In
okay,
Brooklyn.
you're working on a factory, getting $1.25 an hour. And when you calculate out that, you're talking about 50. Me tell you, me look you up, you know. $55 a week, my lord.
Yeah. 40 hours work. Yeah, that's all right.
You get me?
That's where it all began, 1965 for me in Brooklyn, yeah? When I first came. And as you doubt your research, I must say that it was a great opportunity for me.
Mm-hmm.
And even though today it seems like a joke when people hear the story,
Mm-hmm.
but from that, I was able to make my way through and were able to consider my parents back home and the condition that they were in, and my siblings back home and the condition that they were in, and my baby mother who I left with one baby in her hand, walking on one baby in her stomach. That's where it all began, and that is what I leave Jamaica and come into in America to start Jaja. And the rest of it is here I am.
I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, in life, I love him live, even though I love the music. And you started out and you want them to fire you, know. But look here what you do. They don't want to fire you.
That was at the bagel, because I started out in the
yeah, and then you leave.
It was enough from Monday to Friday what I was getting, so I went and get what you call a weekend job.
Yes.
And I went to a place called Warren Street Employment Agency in Manhattan.
Yes.
And I got a dishwasher job. Gotcha. And the dishwasher job, from Saturday to Sunday, the amount of hours I put in, I make more than what I was making from Monday to Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at it and say, if I can make this much for 2 days and I can work the other 5 days here, based on the situation back at Jamaica, I am only 19 years old, I'm going to be 20, so I have to work, I see it. Mm-hmm. And right now I work the 2 jobs for about a month until I became familiar with what's going on in the kitchen as a dishwasher. And I see that the chef was very liking to me, you know, and the boss then, because I was young and I worked very hard and I keep myself clean and I was polite. Mm-hmm. So they offered me a permanent job just a weekend. So I quit the factory, mm-hmm. and knowing that at the restaurant I don't want to buy lunch because I eat free. Mm-hmm. So I save my money right there. Yes. So that alone was very important to me because I was eating better than I was able to carry. So, right, and so now a bagel maker now was a counterman there. Counterman at that time is a man who makes sandwich for you.
Yes.
At the counter, you go and you want a corned beef sandwich, a pastrami sandwich. That's what they call the counterman. And he was intending to open my bagel store. And the way I was working there, he invited me to come with him. And he was paying me more than I was making at the restaurant. Now, the reason why I'm going there, because I skipped past the journey from dishwasher to short order cook to become chef in that kitchen, you see?
Yeah, yeah.
So, if I to talk about the thing that I wanted them to fire me,
yes.
That is where I went at the bagel place. That's when that happened. And why did I want them to fire me? I had put in enough work where I could get unemployment.
Yes.
And I wanted to do my music.
Yes. So you go for unemployment. It's better for you. And
I have enough time to put my music together. So, you know, I was singing copy songs, you know, cover songs they call it.
Yes. Yes.
We and some some Otis wedding, as you know. Yes. I am a lover of R&B music, mm-hmm. even though reggae music is my roots and is my culture. That's why you can play the song with Jah Rastafari, which is more like a pop flavor that I brought to the reggae. You see me? So that was really up to that point. As you refer to, I wanted them to fire me. So I just wanted to bring that to reality. Clear.
Yes.
How did that come about? Not because I didn't want to work. It's that I wanted to do something for myself.
Yes.
And with unemployment, I could have an income coming while I'm exploring other avenues. Gotcha.
Yes. All right. Blessed Lord, clearing up that part, you know. So now you start doing, you wanted to get into the music that you love so much and you cherish so much. So you started to put an ad out in the paper, you know, and
in the village voice, in the
village voice, and of course,
yeah,
no Jamaican answer to the call. Not one.
No. The ad say reggae artists seek musician to form original band. And a pure white answer.
Yes. And that was the band that was called Mad Creators. Was it that one?
No.
That was the second.
The Mad Creators was the band that I used to sing. The Mad Creators was the band that I used to sing cover songs with.
Okay.
On the weekend, I would sing a cover song, a couple of cover songs, yeah. But the Black Eagles was the band that I started to do original music. Because I wanted to do original music, and I realized that it's better for me to have a band or a real close musician to me. And I've always have a band leader in my band from that time until this time.
Right.
So for that reason, really, why I wanted to quit. So I could get into the music and start to do original music. And the Black Eagles was the band that I started to do that with. And we became the first Roots and Culture original band in New York City. Yeah, and the winner of the Record Festival competition 1977.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go. Wait, 1977, right?
Yeah, no, 1975. That's when we... 75? No, that's when we called it.
When you win the award was 77.
Yeah.
Yes. As a new, yeah, good. Now, the part that, you know, that also struck me is like, you know, you get gigs and stuff like that, and you start do your thing. But it was so funny with the first band when they get the gig, and then you go, and nothing ever work out that night.
I know exactly where you're going. We advertised as the Black Eagles, right? And there was only one black man in the band with me. Yes. And we went to that club in Brooklyn called Kegs. Right at East New York.
New York Avenue.
New York Avenue, see?
Yes.
I was at the club at the time. And a lot of my brethren them who know that I was putting a band together, they came out to see me, you know?
Yeah.
And there was a mysterious one in the crowd, you know? I don't know why he had pepper spray with him. We up there do some original tune, and I just see the bass player start scratching nose, and then every man start to do the same. And then I feel like I joke, you know? Yeah. So they say, why go on? And the people start to run out of the place. I run out too. And when I reach at the door, I hear a man come out and say, oh, the bad word, you know, BC, it comes to Black Eagles and a White Eagles there. Oh, what a go.
How did you
and
feel?
I don't like that. But yeah, those musicians, they never want to come back to Brooklyn with me again.
Yeah, I agree. How did you feel in that aspect, knowing that even though you put out the ad and it was some white fellas came and answered the ad, and they were pretty much good, because you know they play and stuff like that, and you definitely like how them play. How did you feel with that aspect, knowing the way how the people, the patrons, they were behaving?
Well, at that time I was very young in my faith. Give thanks that as it was then, it is that way today. I have always been race conscious, health conscious, but I was never a racist.
Yes.
I believe that there is one almighty creator.
Yes.
And I believe that in his creation, there is variety. And it applies to human being also. As you have fish, you have several different type of fish, but they're all fish.
Yes.
You have several different type of dogs, but they're all dogs.
Different, yes.
Several different type of birds, but they're all birds.
Yes.
So I see that you have several type of human being, but we are all human beings. So when I see that it was only pure white man answer, I really never feel no way, but none of them never know nothing about reggae. Because I have to show them the vibes where I want. And they played it, and we were where there was a producer that was producing for CBS by the name of Dan Johnson. He's a country producer, and because Toots and the Tootsie Burt is my brethren from about 12 years old until now.
Okay.
He came up to New York and he came to visit me in Brooklyn, and Peter Yarrow from Peter, Paul and Mary was with him. Peter Yarrow brought Dan Johnson with him, and after the introduction, and I told him that I had a band, Dan Johnson said he would like to hear a band because he was doing a compilation for TBS Records.
Nice.
And it was these guys. It was these guys, was a set of guys that I was able to create a song called I Come From Jamaica. And we went to CBS and recorded it, and it was on this big album. This song, I come from Jamaica, I come here to see you. I come from Jamaica, I come here to free you. It's like my own original.
Right.
White man played.
Right. And
I don't play an instrument, but I went across to them what I was feeling. We recorded the song. Personally, it was a good experience for me.
Yes.
It teach me how to be courageous, and face challenges. Because even right now I have a band called the New Black Eagles, because I am doing live shows again on my own without my children. Because, you know, for many years I was just building them and working with them.
Yes.
And in the last 5 years, I see that they are able to handle themselves. And I still have some creativeness in me, so that's why I have a new album out now called Musical Unity. See?
Yeah, nice.
So the same attitude I had about racism is the same attitude I have about it now. We are all human beings. And my New Black Eagles have Italian in it, have Spanish in it, and have Jewish in it, and have Haitian in it. So His Majesty, I see His Majesty divinity among many different nations.
Yes, yes.
I travel many places around the world where I see Rastafari, Italy, China, Japan.
Yes.
And I represent a culture and a way of life.
Yes.
And I, as Rastafarian, our music is to bring healing to the people as Christ has taught us from the riverside of them choose the apostles. That when we come with this energy that a lot of people don't understand it yet, we come to bring healing to the nations, healing to the families and the community. Those that have ears and wasn't hearing will now hear. Yes. Those that had mouth and wasn't talking will be able to talk. Those that have eyes and were not seen will be able to see. Because eyes have not seen, our ears have not heard what the Lord God of Israel spoke for us. So we as Rastafarian, we are the original Israelite within our consciousness. And we are the true Christian, not the wrong type of Christianity. Because we understand the fullness. His Majesty reigned for 40 years as a Christian king. And we know that Ethiopia have the oldest version of the Bible. And Christianity was in Ethiopia before it went to Rome. And Ethiopia never really crucified or martyred none of the apostles. Rome martyred Apostle Peter, So the fullness from that time to this time is that there's a destiny. As His Majesty, when African righteous people come together, the world will come together. And that is our divine destiny.
Yes. My
life, as it is right now, I've been walking in my destiny from 1975. From the factory work coming to America and leave my big mother in Jamaica, and my mother and my father in Jamaica, and come to America and never forget where I come from. Jaja, I never get
Rastafari.
fantasized. I get caught up into material things because I've always loved people more than money. You see me?
Yes.
So with that, we still talk about experience at Keg Lounge, you know, because that experience was my first challenging experience as a recording artist and as a performer and putting bands together. And I'm still doing that. Yeah, Rastafari. Because right now, I have 2 bands that I'm working with. Out of New York, the New Black Eagles.
Yes.
And a band called Simon White.
Yes.
And Rhythm Incorporated. These guys are doing reggae music, but they really don't know the spirit behind the music.
Yes.
So just send me amongst them, you know? And them is like the outer circle of my life. Like my children are the inner circle of my life. Saying, but these are so connected to me that they are like my family, my brothers and my children. They are the outer circle. We are building a musical, what we call a musical empire.
Yes.
Amongst ourselves.
That's good. That's good. So
pretty soon I would like to introduce these 2 bands, leaders of these 2 bands to you and their story and their testimony of working with me. Because you hear my testimony through my children all the time.
Listen to me.
Musicians, now I would like to give them a chance to speak about the Rastafari vibration that they experience. Because this is the vibration that comes to heal the world, Jaja, and bring people together in the divine energy of love. Because we know the truth of the covenant that God made with Abraham, that which he made with David. And we know the relationship between and man from even back in the days of Enoch. Jaja. So we know that for the past 6,000 years, man has been under certain oppression. And that oppression is lifted because the healing powers of love is what the Rastaman bring to the nation. And the reggae music is our gospel. That is our vehicle to take us to the people. And the vibration that we're talking about, the energy that attract people to Rasta. Some come through the energy of the come through the energy of the color red green. Some come through the energy of the dreadlocks. Come through the energy of the
all different channels.
All different channels, but they all come into the love, peace, and harmony among humanity.
That's said and done. I realize. So hold on now. When you leave Jamaica at that early age of 16, you had a baby mother there?
No, it was 19. I got my first child when I was 17. My baby mother got pregnant when we were 16. I left Jamaica when I was 19. But I became a father at the age of 17.
Okay. So now you came here doing your thing, working, taking care of the family because you're number one, you're a family man. No matter what, you're a family man. And you were able to raise 30 kids of your own.
Yes.
Right.
And I father more than that within the inner circle because 2 of my children mother had a couple of children before they met me. And I took them in also. I took the mother with the calf, you know?
Yeah.
So I took the mother and take the calf too.
Right.
So that's why I did it. I took them because they started to have children for me, and the children that they had before had to grow like brothers and sisters with the children they have for me.
That's a real man. A real man.
Yeah.
A real
and then
man right there.
Of my own. Gotcha.
That's all right.
My wife and me
your wife at 15.
Yeah, Lord. You know what this is.
I tell you, I know everything. But you know what? I just don't say it just because of the joke of it, but to show how you do went and sow your seeds. But even though you have the seeds, you were so much of a father and still have them, even until today date, as old as your son is, which I have the same respect for my father. You understand? Yes, daddy. Can more time when I go out with my father. You understand me? I say, yes, daddy, well, you want to do this, and people turn around and looking like, I thought you guys were two brothers. You know, I have that respect. I still say, yes, daddy, yes, sir, whatever. They still do with you.
Okay, you started out by saying the joke of it. There is no joke about it.
Right, it's not, right.
There is no joke about it. So, father, 30 children with 6 different baby mother, with a wife from you was 16 who gave you 15, and she's still downstairs right now taking care of dinner. And you take in another wife and treat them. There's 3 of the 6 that I treat like wife because I feel they were my wife. And they all see me as their husband. Mm-hmm. And there was 3 of the mother when I was younger and running wild that have 1, and another one have 1, and another one have 1. And those 3 children come raise up around me and my wife. And there was a time when 2 of them was in the same house in Massachusetts. Mm-hmm. And we were living blessed family. You said earlier that I am a blessed man. So all of these things were not done because of any greatness on my part. It was done because of the blessing that God has given me for me to be obedient to him. And him say, live a life that man will see it and glorify our Father which is in Zion. So my fathership, my fatherhood that I have displayed in the form of a liberty, not talk, mm-hmm. but actually live it like that.
Walk the
it's
walk.
Not a joke.
Walk the walk.
Thing is an example. It's an encouraging thing for us because in doing so, I violate all of the man them laws. Mm-hmm. In their law, that's why I believe in the laws of God that come with mercy and grace and forgiveness. Mm-hmm. And understanding. Because there's a lot of wisdom and there's a lot of knowledge. But if there is no understanding, you will not maximize what you call the best of wisdom and knowledge. To maximize it for the benefit of yourself and others, you got to have understanding. Yes. So the fullness of I and I to live a life is our obedience to the Creator. Live a life that man will see and glorify our Father. Mm-hmm. So it's not a wild man running around and just having a whole picnic. But I was doing something that I was destined to do. I was called to do. And I was choosing to do. And that is why today, as an Israelite, I can declare that. As a Rastaman, I can declare that. And as a Christian, I can declare that. Mm-hmm. And Christ, Jesus, the redeeming Messiah, I have a relationship with him. Mm-hmm. And his Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I, the restoring Messiah, relationship with him. It is not based on what my parents taught me, mm-hmm. but what they taught me helped me to get where I am. Yes. And that is the fullness of
Ras Denroy. Respect to the maximum. No, that's when I spoke to you earlier and I said you're blessed. And I'm saying for most of who in the room right now, we got, I should say 90% of the fans in the room is from the UK. I'm saying in England here. And they're here. Guys, send out the page. We're coming up to the music, but I gotta touch certain parts and let them see how you've been there, done that, and you live to tell the story, and your life is, as you say, also is an example. You understand? 2011, you get caught up in the Babylon system. I said the Babylon system. Hear me?
Yeah, man.
All right? You caught up. You know, they said you had, what, 21 pound of herb and it work out to 20 pounds. And you get caught up in that system.
No work out, nothing. It's 20 pounds, it's not 21.
It's 20. Or it's 20 pounds. Okay. So you got
Yes.
you got incarcerated with that amount, wherein you're looking maybe 30 years or 20 years. You understand? But you stick with your
200,000 US dollars could have been the charge also in addition to the sentence. So the magnitude of the punishment could have been, unbearable.
yes. And it's so worked out. You stick with the Rastafarian culture and your faith. That's what the weed was for. Your practice. And with your team of lawyers and stuff like that, bottom line, long story short, you end up paying about $25 in fees only. Understand, Selassie?
25, 90 days
In jail.
probation.
Probation. 90 days probation you got. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, such a case, I can only give Almighty God the glory.
Yes.
Because
Nobody would get off with a case like that.
People was praying for me all over the world. People was surprised I was handling that much.
I remember I hear that news on the TV, on the radio. I heard it myself. And all I said, whoa. And when I hear the whole verdict of that case, I was like, Rastafari. That's all I say. Get me?
Yeah.
And
well,
but
you know that conspiracy is a serious charge. If you are charged with conspiracy for not answering your phone, somebody call you and you didn't answer, but because of who the person is and the history of you and that person's relationship, you could be in a problem. So for me to be charged with conspiracy to distribute,
yeah.
£110, which what happened is that they went back to the place and they raid the place where I got my little 20 from. Then I see it. And because they found out that I was a popular artist, enough things.
Example.
They now say, you know what? The state can't handle this. We're going. So I got to court now.
The feds take it over.
And say, no, give him. We have to take him. And, it was a rough period for us as Jamaican. Because when you look at it, Buju was going through his thing. Dodos had just gone through his thing. And they feel like this Denroy Morgan was some kind of big wing like that. But me was just a little Rasta man with my little small portion. Me was no gangster.
Mm-hmm.
And I see it. We have to use the herb because it's part of our sacrament.
Yes.
So it was created for the freedom of man. Cha-cha. So, I declare that it's mine. I never deny it. I say it's mine. And that's what I was going to do with it. And I could prove that I was going to distribute it amongst my brethren them. I see it. So the judge look into it after all of the research and what them do. And say, the prosecutor that was supposed to be prosecuting me was making recommendation to the judge. Mm-hmm. So all glory due unto the Almighty and thanks for that portion of the legal system in my life that was able to go in and take charge and set I free this day. And now the same system is legalizing the same herb.
Yes.
And it's saying that it is good for medicinal purposes. And they are creating an industry. And they are searching for guys like I who have paid a price to make sure that we not a part of benefiting from that industry. So it's just a corruption of the system that just bring me down in the belly of the beast. And if I hope that today you and I are talking about my life and my career and my experience even with such a situation.
Also the reason why I mentioned that, ladies and gentlemen in the room, because of Denroy Morgan, he changed the legislation part of the laws in New York You understand? Shortly after that, your case was closed. The legislation changes in New York to prevent, right? Anyone, the whole
Yes.
world, to anyone that's been arrested with what I should say, with under 23 grams of marijuana should be set free. Yeah. You understand?
Yes.
Because of
Yes.
you changed that law in New York.
No. I will not say that. It's because of the righteousness of the Almighty and the freedom come for the herb. Just like freedom come for the black man today. To show the world like his majesty. The majesty never retaliate by trying to kill out the Italian them that was there. Him give them the opportunity to live and become of Ethiopia. So the point is, no such a wicked act took place, just stood by me, and shortly after I got off of the chat, legislatures. Yes, so is the powers of the power of King Rastafari that is setting it free.
Yes.
And I just want to make sure that one-on-one here, that the way the system is setting it free, they're systemically making it difficult for I and I to benefit from it. And it's we and tell them that it was good. It's we let them know that it was good, because they know that it was good before, and deny the rights of the herb and create laws in different countries. So many countries, they create laws against the herb, and the persecution of the herb is similar to the persecution of Jesus Christ, similar to the persecution of the black man, similar to the persecution of God's righteousness in man. Cha-cha. Because today it's very difficult to be righteous unless you become religious. And once you become religious, you're under the same hypocrisy and the same corruption of the religious system. But for us to be free spiritual people, that we can love freely, cha-cha. We don't love because of what you do for us. We love because it is the right thing to do. Because it is man's responsibility to give love to all of God's creation. Everything that Jah creates needs to be loved. And it is man that is responsible to exercise the love of God. And I've seen animals exercise the love of God, but you know, they don't have the word. So just that alone, because we are in the image of God, not any of his creation. Any of his creation is in his image, but man is. So it is man's responsibility to be godly to all God's creation, to be godlike, starting from with your own family. Because if you can't live godly with your family, you can't live godly with your community unless you're dealing with hypocrisy. So the godliness that we are talking about starts from home. And it says, train the child in the way they should grow, and when they're old,
will not depart.
So that principle was telling us, my siblings and I, by our parents. And I try my best to instill it in all my children. And Jah had blessed me with a home.
Yes.
Blessed me with a home, not a house.
A home.
A home.
And a family, that I should say.
Remember, a house is not a home. There's no one living there.
There's no one living there.
And
right.
The content of the home is what determines the value of the home.
Share the page, ladies and gentlemen. Share the page. Now, I like that. Now, let's step back into the music and things like that. Now, you got a deal with RCA Records. And
before I got RCA, remember, I got a deal with an independent company called Beckett.
Oh, yeah.
The I'll Do Anything For You album for. And I tried very hard to get out of it because it was robbery. Everything just went the wrong way. And I run into a brother. I was on the road with Val Hackett, and he was the manager of Slave at the time. And I was doing very well that he came over to me and said he would like to talk to me after the show. And after the show, we were staying in the same hotel. He came and he said he would like to manage I. So I said, if you want to manage I, the first thing I have to do is get out of the contract that I have. But I don't want to get out of the contract unless you can get me another one. So he got me at RCA Records because I'll do anything for you was hot, Sweet and the Love was hot, Happy Feeling was still doing good at the time. So he got me out of the deal with Morris Levy at Beckett Records, and I got signed to RCA. And that's where, you know, I different producers like Manafan, Rick and
yourself.
Yeah, and you know, songwriters like Gilbert O'Sullivan and Brenda Russell.
Good writer.
Eric Mercury and Thelonious Monk. Those songs was presented to me, so you know, from the Black Eagles up to the and period, I learned how to work with people.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to give you a sample of the song here. And for those, most of everybody know it. Donovan, big up yourself from Germany. I see you in the room. Enough love. All right. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to this song. And for most of us who heard of Denroy Morgan, heard from him with this song.
Denroy, take out the L out of it, Virgin. Put in love and take out the L.
Denroy. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, this is like the third time he told me, you know. Like the third time now. Listen.
When you stand by my side, or you look my mind and show me one thing to make my dreams come true. Anything you want me to. There's nothing in this world that I want to do. Anything you want me to do.
Yes, I do anything. Real talk. That's the all right. When I heard this song for the first time, I thought it was a Yankee did that song. Real talk.
Enough people feel the same way, man. And the good thing about it is that, yeah, I never burn out myself. I never burn out myself in touring behind that song beyond 84. 84 is when I was signed to RCA Records, and I remember the last tour I did with Johnny Taylor, Frankie Beverly, and me. As I say, you know what, I realized that my children them was doing very good with the music lesson. So I just decided to put a lot of energy into them, developing them more than just trying to develop myself. And because of that, I did not work from 84 to build my fan base. I build my children. So there's still a lot of people who know the song and don't know me. They can't connect the face with the song. So you see, now that I forward back to the business, I have a new album out there and a couple of singles and a couple of video and a ministry. I don't want you to forget about the ministry, the Abrahamic Covenant Family Ministry. With the archive on YouTube, and it's on Facebook Live every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. So from the time there to make my day, I went straight into my children, Morgan Heritage, the Dreads, LMS, and Laza Morgan. And I did a couple of albums in between that, but never really put no energy behind it. Yes. Musical Unity, which is now my most recent work, is the first that I have decided to put some energy back into myself since 1984. Jaja, Rastafari.
Yes. So I noticed that you after that you start focusing more now on your kids, them trying to get them out there who was doing good. And we're talking the whole Morgan Heritage family and LMS. Before you start, I start talking about Morgan Heritage family. LMS. What happened to that group?
Okay. It was first the Dreads, yeah? That was Laza, Kaipu. That was just two of them.
Okay.
And their sister was one of the dancers in the Chipettes, because I had like 3 girls that were dancers also. And maybe one of the dancers until one day she said to me, she sat me down at Cornelia Street on the step and said, Daddy, me can't sing, you know. I said, really? Sing what? Sing something in me, you know. And when she really licked a tune, I think it was a Whitney Houston song, I was shocked because I never heard her sing before.
Okay.
And I said, well, all right, why don't you join your brothers? And I remember that image did work. That image with 2 brethren and a sister did work. It worked for the Fugees and it worked for Black Uhuru. So I see that work. And Laza was a kind of a DJ, rapper, and Shaipu was a singer. So that was LMS. L for Laza, M for Miriam, S for Shaipu. What happened? That's the question. What happened to them? It happened that he wanted to go into something else. He wanted to be a physical trainer, and he didn't have the time to put into the music. As it was needed to continue, they did 4 albums. Miriam, she beginning to build a family, and she wasn't able to stay on the road as much as it was required to build a career, even though we did 4 albums. You know, we produced 1, Fatis produced 2, Donovan Germain produced 1, and the album that I have in the can between Bobby Digital and Fatah and Bolivia, Jamaica, and we as a family. So there is material that has not been released on LMS. And what happened is that Laza had carried on. He's still carrying on because, you know, he went on to sign for Electra Record, and he had a pretty good father, did a tune together, One by One, that did pretty good for him. Gimme Little. He also did a song with a girl in England called Alexander Burke. So he has success, and that is the fullness of the LMS story.
Just as you touched on that, let me just dip on this real fast. Are you planning to release any of those songs that never been heard before in the future?
Absolutely. Okay. I'm not in any to do that, but yes, we are intending to do that because good music is like wine, you know. If it's good, it never gets stale until it releases.
Yes.
Because you never heard it.
Yes. There you go. So now you started to work also on your sons, Morgan Heritage. Not really your sons. You had daughters in there too. Now they were all born here, Brooklyn, right?
Yes.
And Mhm.
All
I
Morgan
remember,
Heritage was born in Brooklyn.
yeah, and I remember when they came out and when they went to Jamaica for the first time to grease the stage, it was like everybody was so surprised of the harmony and the message that they had. You understand? And of course, coming
That
from
was 1992, you know.
hmm
Uh, 1992, at that time I had put in quite a lot into their development in terms of uh, instrument, in terms of vocal, in terms of
hmm
understanding what practice can do for you.
hmm
Of developing good musical skill. I put that in and I decided that I want to go showcase them in Jamaica. Cha-cha. And I was
Rastafari.
Sharon Burke and Stephen Stanley,
hmm
in Stewart, I think it is, yes. And they helped me to get to reggae, White River Reggae Bash in Ocho Rios.
Yes.
It was a big show in Jamaica. And they did so well at that time. The Chipettes were with us dancing, and it
Yes.
wasn't element, it was the Dreads and the Chipettes dancing, and Morgan Heritage was like my backing band.
Yeah.
Because nobody knew. But because of the success I've had with I'll Do Anything for You and Sweet Tender
Yes.
Love,
hmm
I could have taken them to Jamaica with me as my backing band. And I remember saying to them that if you all come off like a professional with
Yes.
me,
hmm
the rest will be history. And
Yes.
so done. Because after we finished the reggae, White River Reggae Bash in Ocho, the next day we was all over the Gleaner and the Stars and Ray about Denroy Morgan and these children were come from America. And there was a guy by the name of Lee Jaffe who came down there with MCA Records.
Mm.
They came to their jet to come suss out Jamaica talent at Reggae Sunset, 1992. And he saw us, Rastafari, at the
Yes.
beach party. That was 2 gigs that Sharon Burke got for us.
hmm
Is the White River Reggae Bash,
hmm
and party for Sunsplash. And when we did this beach party at Sunsplash, we kick ass again.
Yes.
That he have to come over to me and ask me if those are my children. I say yes. He say he would like for them to perform for the executives of MCA Records that are coming to Jamaica.
hmm
But Reggae Sunsplash Beach Party is one of their events. So the international is, the top of the line. That would be on the international line. So Lee said he could get me on it. I say, really?
Wow.
I heard I never played on 2 of the dates. The only other act that have played on 2 of the dates of Sunsplash, Lucky Dube from South Africa.
Yeah.
Lucky Dube, the only man that played there 2 times on 1 Sunsplash. And we played the beach party and international night was played again. Well, 45 minutes after we come off of the stage, MCA Records offer us a deal to sign Morgan Heritage and to sign the Dreads. Cha-cha.
Whoa. Rastafari.
That was a blessing.
Yes.
That turned out to be a blessing for us.
Yes.
Because that was the first opportunity for them to understand what it is to work with a major record company.
Yes.
And out of that, we did quite a few things, Instead of invest the money into studio time, we build our own studio with the money.
Your own studio, yes.
Deliver the record and not just wind up with a bunch of tape, but to wind up with one tape and a studio out of it. So that was a good move.
Nice. Now, your dear said how many years building the Morgan Heritage, but within that also, you are so known and so big in Manhattan. And when I say Manhattan, I'm talking Harlem. If I go anywhere in Harlem and call your name, somebody know you. Somebody know you.
Of the community service, you know what I mean?
that
It's
you're
like,
doing.
yeah, I find a need there because there's so much spiritual energy in Harlem. There's so much black pride in Harlem.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a thing called division that is
Yes.
really hurting us as black folks today. The lack of unity. Because a lot of things we could have done much better if we could only unite.
Yes.
Uniting with family,
mm-hmm.
united with partners,
mm-hmm.
united with friends, mm-hmm. and do business. Because we never were taught economical science, you see? Mm-hmm. And that is something that, you know, that unity, we got to unite to build that. Yes. From mother and the father, have a preparation for the children and their future. Mm-hmm. And that type of liberty is what I personally admire, Chacha, about mankind. And unite.
I'm gonna give you a name. Queen Mother Moore. Talk to me.
All right, again. Okay.
We're there. We're there. So we gotta finish it there.
And play a major role for the black community in America in so many ways. And as I talk about the Queen Mother consciousness, Africa that comes from, you see? Mm-hmm. That's a legacy that comes from Africa. The Queen Mother are a woman that mothers the community, mm-hmm. not just mother her children, but she is a mother within the community. Jaja, she's like a governor then within the community. Right. Queen Mother was an advocate for black pride, reparation, and equality and justice, and she stood up in the social injustice to bring about equality and justice for all people. So Mother Moore was very effective in the community. Queen Mother Blakely is also an effective woman.
She took over after Moore went, right? After Moore passed away or something like that.
Actually, inherit Queen Mother Moore position after she passed away. Okay. So I was spending a lot of time around those Queen Mothers. I found the Ethiopian Orthodox Coptic Church of North and South America in Harlem. And that's where my children and I baptized. So we spend a lot of time in Harlem, and we're given a lot of opportunity to participate within community affairs. I was once the Grand Marshal for the Mother's Day Parade in Harlem. Mm-hmm. So that kind of work, is why when you're going to Harlem and call my name, you will hear I was given an award by the hip hop community.
Yes, headed by what's his name again? That famous hip hop guy.
Yeah. Okay. As you were saying.
I'm trying to remember the guy who organized that hip hop guy. I'm trying to remember his name. Yes.
Is his name. Mm-hmm. So, he have an award thing that he gives out, and the last one, it was held at the Church of Scientology. They have a building there, and he had used the hall to do it, and I was awarded for community service. And probably that's what another thing you're talking about in terms of the recognition within the Harlem community.
There you go. Now, I remember growing up in Jamaica at an early age, just before I left. There was a religion, faith, and when I say Rastafari, true Rastafari religion, when they came out in Jamaica, we talk about the Coptic. You understand?
Okay.
Remember.
It's not a religion.
It's not a religion.
Rastafari.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for correcting me. I stand corrected.
And spiritual rights that we have as African in the West. That is as religion, but it's a way of life. We're talking about the Ethiopian Zion Coptic Church.
Yes.
I am with them in certain ways because I have seen 3 different Coptic churches that I am a part of. The Ethiopian Zion Coptic Church, that became very, what do you call, accomplished in material things in Jamaica and still have not done for the community the things that they could have done. Because
Okay.
I am still on that mission trying to get them to come back to the matter in which they talk about. Written in a wall, in the stone wall, it's written in that the Ethiopian Zion Coptic Church is the gatherer of the people in Jamaica.
Okay.
That is the area of St. Thomas, and I am working with those people to restore back that activity, because since the problem they went through with the government, they lost a lot of money, a lot of them went to prison, a lot of them passed away, but the mission is still there, and the mission must be carried on. As His Majesty said,
yes, right.
The oncoming generation. Right. So we are looking at the legacy of the gathering of the people. I am associated with the Ethiopian Orthodox Coptic Church of North and South America, the Judah Coptic Church of Jamaica. So I am saying, we are all saying Coptic. So why can't we be united? Why on foundation? So you see, my work as the ambassador of the Ethiopian Orthodox Coptic Church to the Rastafari community, it's beyond just a recording, performing artist. It's beyond that. And I enjoy music, and I enjoy creating music. I enjoy performing. I enjoy, recording too. I like perform more than actually record, but it's one of those things.
You know what?
The Coptic Church, I have to give you the full outline and why I'm attracted to the Ethiopian Orthodox Coptic Church. Because I do support the Orthodox Church from Ethiopia, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church I'm talking about. And I support the Coptic Church of Egypt. And His Majesty also did that because at his coronation, there were Coptic clergymen and there were Ethiopian clergymen. So the unification of Orthodox and Coptic is a must. That must take place because come around Jesus Christ. Because the Copts are who started it in Egypt when Rome was still persecuting the apostles and those supporting the apostles. And yet now, Rome take it up now and say Catholic, which is supposed to mean universal. But then after we get wrapped into that, it became Roman Catholic. It was not Catholic anymore. It was Roman Catholic. Cha-cha. So the fullness of the Coptic Church, I remember, and the legacy of Ethiopian Christianity, I stands for. Cha-cha. So not a religion to me. They use the term religion for us to have certain spiritual rights, but it's simply a spiritual way of life. And that is why the Rasta and conquer a lot of things, that material things take us away from the Rasta man had to conquer that. Had to his desire for beautiful shoes and wear some put away the desire for a beautiful suit and wear crocus bag.
That's what they used to do back home. That's what they used to do back home.
So today when I see dreadlocks running around and making it seem like they are Rasta, and they are not Rasta, they are dreadlocks.
Dreadlocks.
You don't have to dread to be Rasta. Rasta is a divine conception of the heart. And this is we want to bring some clarity, to bring those clear mind around the throne of David by the way of the Solomonic dynasty, which is now represented by His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie.
Yes.
So it's a liberty, my brethren.
Okay, since we're on that topic right there, I want you to explain this for me. Give me the fullness of this. We are owed 500 acres of land. Explain that to me, Father.
Based on the support that Black American had given His Majesty
Yes.
during the invasion. Preparation towards that, and he offered a land grant with the Constitution. The land grant is the 5 acres of land that you're talking about.
Yes.
For the people of the world.
Okay.
Cha-cha.
Explain again. Who said that we are old? Talk again.
His Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie.
Yeah, cool. No.
If a land grant of 5 acres of land,
yes,
with the Constitution to the black people of the world, cha-cha, to come to Ethiopia and establish a model city, cha-cha. Now for me, in my personal interpretation of that, is the opportunity to establish the new city of David. This called lack of unity that I referred to earlier is the same thing that is having us in a lack of progression, lack of progress where the EWF is concerned. Because here in America you have like 3 different executive body, and you're only supposed to have one. You have one in England also, and it was said, it's in the Constitution, that the executive body must have a headquarters in New York City. So the headquarters cannot be in England. The headquarters must be in New York. The headquarters cannot be in California. It must be in New York. It's the Constitution. And my brother, I have spent a lot of time around members of the Ethiopian World Federation, as I am a functioning member of the 12 tribes of Israel.
Yes.
I am a Christian, I am an Israelite, I am a Rastafarian. But the division that exists between us is why I have to be the way I am. Because I am of the Oboshanti tradition, the priesthood order. I am of the Nyabingi tradition, the backlocks of the divinity of His Majesty. And I am a member of the 12 tribes of Israel. I am also the ambassador of the Ethiopian Orthodox Coptic Church of North and South America. What does all of that mean? It means nothing if we cannot achieve unity. Cha-cha. So this is what I'm about.
Wow.
Is about bringing unity among us as a people. That we can say, let the countenance of the living God shine brightly upon us, His people. That we can declare His glory as His righteous children who obey His laws and His commandment. Cha-cha. And we had 10 that Moses gave us after we were taken out of Egypt and was given a constitution. The 10 commandments was the first constitution. Cha-cha. And Christ, Yeshua, the redeeming Messiah, came and come with that mind of God in man consciousness and say, I'm going to give you two. Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart.
And Him only shall thou serve.
As thyself. Thy neighbor is every other human being we come in contact with. And if we can exercise that, we can easily overcome the enemy of God, the divider, and bring unity that the EWF, as you asked about, can become effective and do that which His Majesty ordained for us to do. And the Rastafari community can come together around the divinity of His Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie, because we are all of that energy, that one energy, the energy of peace and love. That is the energy, and we want to bring it all down to energy, because if we can bring it down to energy, it is easier for us to understand and work with each other. Cha-cha. Because it's only two energy. And when you're a spiritual person, you can detect negative energy. Cha-cha. And if you're a positive person, when you see negative energy, you got to use divine understanding to deal with it, that it doesn't come inside of you. Cha-cha. Because to protect your soul, you know?
All right. Now, since you're resurfacing yourself again, that's my personal word. resurfacing yourself again. All right. With
You are recircling. Like, if I deal with restoration, let's deal with activity as an individual.
yes. Yes.
To work with the outer circle of the family, that we can be one full circle.
Yes.
The circle of life, the circle of love. Because you see, the inner, that's where the content, and the outer is the protector. So each and every one of us have an inner circle, an outer circle. We need to be more attentive to the circle. We deal with too much points, you see? Too much points. And everyone wants to make the point.
Yeah, and we stray from the right thing, the right thing. So now,
everlasting
Rastafari. So what I should say now is your ultimate direction with your new music that you have out now.
And the reboost of my career, my activity, recording, performing artist. I have put a band back together and I'm doing some shows now, and I'm available for shows anywhere because my band is a traveling band. I have a new album. It's almost a year old now, called Musical Unity. That is out and I'm promoting. I have a new video, that the single, which is the song you played earlier, A Little More Love. Yes. And next week I'm releasing another single, which is The Speech of His Majesty on Religion. I did it in a spoken word. That will be released next week.
Something like a dub poet. Something
yes.
Like okay, good. Now, looking into your life, how would you define the word success to you?
Suck. I don't know about the suck and the cess. I would say prosperous and blessed. Don't bother with the suck and the cess. Prosperous and blessed.
Selassie, I stand corrected again. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I
am fortunate to be called. Because not every man is called.
Yes.
Not every woman is called. And there are many that are called and few that are chosen. I think there's an anointing that comes with the chosen one. And it is written, touch that anointed and do his prophet no harm.
Yes.
Not every anointing is from the prophetic, because there is different gifts. Not everyone is prophet. Some is teacher, some is carpenter, and we have even shoemaker. So the blessing is to live a life according to the calling, the obedience, because as Deuteronomy 28 will show us that there is a blessing for the obedient and there is a reward for the disobedient. So knowing the words of God, I would encourage one to be obedient.
Right.
If you study it. Right. Now there's a lot of tricks within the translation of the Bible that can get us into the energy of discord. That's why they were able to cut up Christianity like a pie, like a pizza or an apple pie. They slice it up. Baptist, Anglican, Presbyterian, Jehovah's Witness, Church of England, and they are all Christian. The church is one foundation. So my philosophy personally, when I look over spirituality, I don't see religion. Gotcha. I see a way of life. Gotcha. And I identify with the ancient Israelite because there is a blessing that goes there. And there's an anointing that is coming through that lineage. That's why the covenant of David come with an anointing. And it come down through the Solomonic dynasty. And even though Solomon may displease some flesh, gotcha, but the spirit chose Solomon out of the womb of Bathsheba. David made the covenant with him. And Emperor Haile Selassie I is of the lineage of Menelik the first, which was the first in Ethiopia, and he was the son of Queen Sheba of Ethiopia and King Solomon, which give him the legitimate right from his parental legacy, where he could have been king over Israel through the lineage of Solomon, and he could have been king of Aksum through the lineage of Queen Sheba. He chose, and the Creator chose him to stay in Ethiopia and give thanks His Majesty rise out of Ethiopia. And there is no other personality on this planet that represent the Solomonic dynasty out of the divinity of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. So, looking for is for the gathering of the people. That's why the land grant was given, is for us to go home to Ethiopia, not to go home, go create no tent city and no ghetto vibes, to go home with plans to build a model city.
Yeah.
Have the right people
to each and every person knowledge you put together.
Yeah. So, you know, because of the oppression of government, the Rastaman have to fight and use what they call, not repatriation, because that's what we want, but migration. Migrate, you can't put the ticket and you migrate there. And we have to fight the system. So blessed is those that are there right now, holding it down for us who are here and still can't make it there. That the fulfillment of restoration, repatriation is in motion, where it's in our word. And now we want it to be in our action. But as we know that repatriation have to be a government-to-government conversation.
Right.
Is that we from different parts of the world that want to return to Ethiopia to fulfill our divine destiny have to come together and speak.
No, with you as a growing up, you have that business concept about yourself. And looking now how a lot of reggae artists are going into the music business. With your experience, what you have to say about the way that they're approaching the business?
Well, every man approach it differently and for different reasons. And I will not criticize any reason that any man find himself doing it. What I would encourage is that we, the creator of music, must let our music be meaningful. Let it have substance from my mind and my soul. A substance that will live forever, Jaja.
And the kids will enjoy it.
Yeah, and you know, the music has become corrupt, where the skin out and the shack out kind of vibes become where the money is, but the money is driving that. It's not the love for the soul of that is driving that. Cha-cha. So we have to become conscious and make the right sacrifice, you know, because the music today, reggae music, but check hip-hop music, that's black music too. Yep. And look at the things that is being said. Yep. Look at Black Public Enemy when those guys started out on KRS-One.
KRS-One. Oh.
Yes. And then it become where our women become bitches, our women become whore, our brethren become dogs, our brethren become niggers, and that become a culture. That's what we are up against within the musical industry, because the music is a very influential tool, and it means more than just making you dance, cha-cha. And that's why today Bob Marley is still recognized as the king of reggae, because Bob Marley writes some crucial, and Bob Marley carried the energy of the Rasta man, cha-cha. So that majesty will be represented by the oncoming generation. That which the gang has done will be represented by the oncoming generation. You see it manifest already. Through him children and him grandchildren. It's going to go on forever and ever. And the mission is to bring people together around the throne of David. So I give my little contribution by recognizing music from the pollution. Cha-cha.
Rastafari. I'm gonna play a song by you right now, but I wanted to ask the fullness of this song that your kids that did, Morgan Heritage. And you mentioned it earlier on. You don't have to be a dread to be a Rasta. Who came up with that writing?
Peter, you know?
Peter came up with that.
Yeah, Peter came up with that idea, and they work on it together.
But you didn't have any input in that?
No, the only input I have in that is the way I raise them. You know, see it? Because if I didn't raise them right, he wouldn't have that consciousness, that revelation wouldn't come to him. And we go through a lot of fight, even right there in Jamaica. We are known personally against us and say we are give all strength and all them things. Yeah. But that wasn't the mission. To declare the truth of Rastafari.
Yes.
Because there are many people today that support the mission of His Majesty Divinity to His people, and they are not dreadlocks.
There you go.
Maybe that was dread, not dread back. But one thing I can say, it's dread to be a dread.
It is.
It's a thing to be a dread.
Not an easy road.
And you know, Rasta, you take on a dread thing for no reason. Cha-cha. Because it is our symbol of our separation, as it was in ancient times with the Nazarite. Cha-cha. The Nazarite, the dreadlocks upon our head, is a separation from the corrupt system to go into the system of life, the value of life that has been given to each and every one of us.
Yes. And
our mission is to give love back, because life come out of love. If Jah never would create us and give us life, cha-cha. And actually say his own image, cha-cha.
Yes.
Saying that we children, cha-cha. I mean, so the fullness of the whole thing is the value of life.
Yes.
And of love. And how do we unite love and life? And be morally conscious, spiritually conscious, and economically blessed, and prosperous.
I remember when I remember when that song, especially when I came to bring the Conquering Lion Zone to New York in 91. I used to, when I go out and play, especially in the Caribbean community, the Rastaman son, and you're ballad. I want to you. What do you feel like? And I remember when that song came out, every time I go to the dance and play and I hear somebody mumble, I play that song. And I stand behind the turntable with two hands with the mic like this and I sing. Because that song means so much to me, personally. You understand? Because it said, concept of right to yourself. You know what I say? And I always remember that song every time. You understand?
I've written some very good songs.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of people by the river, and you know, when you check the lyrics of "Where is the Black Man Paradise," them question there is to be by society today and leaders of community. It's true, religious leaders or political leaders. Those are questions to be answered, and the songs like that will live forever. But to me, greatest statement that my children, Morgan Heritage, has made in music is you don't have to dream to be Rasta.
Yes.
I value that as a statement, Chacha. That's us in the flesh, Chacha.
I go and play right now. Revelation come to pass.
True, man. That's true.
I go and play this. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to this vibes right now. Let me say, and these songs that we're playing right now, I tell you, the boss here.
Revelation come to pass. Revelation come to pass. Revelation come to pass. Revelation come to pass. Just like the good one said, he who is blind shall be blind still. He who can see, just let him see. He who is filled with Lord, he fills it still. Only the righteous one shall inherit the land. Revelation come to pass. 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 All that's going on here is going on everywhere. Like parents against their children, children against their parents, brothers and sisters against each other. The whole world's upside down. Revelation come to pass. Revelation come to pass. Revelation come to pass. Revelation come to pass. Just like good will say, he who is blind shall be blind still. He who can see, just let him see. He who is empty, Lord, shall be filled still. Only the righteous one shall inherit the land. Revelation come to pass. Revelation come to pass. Prophecy. Revelation come to pass. Revelation come to pass. Must fulfill. Revelation come to pass. Revelation comes by. Revelation comes by. Revelation comes by. Prophecy. Revelation comes by. 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 Most fulfilled. Revelation comes by. Revelation comes by. Prophecy.
Yes, definitely. Revelation come to pass. Now, the music has changed so much. So much. And you looking into how the music has changed so much right now. And you always try to bring back the positiveness in music. Your music is clean, so clean. You understand? You could play it, whatever age the kid is, they could always listen to your song. You understand? And also, you kids them with that respect and stuff like that. Now, knowing how it is right now, do you think Bob Marley would have changed the direction of his music or changed certain lyrics when he's in his music today?
Well, music is always evolved, and I really couldn't tell you what Bob Marley would do if he was here. You know, that would just be my opinion. But
Yes.
music is always evolved. You know? There's new instruments being created. I mean, the sounds are the same, the scales are the same, but there is always a new tone that comes to the music, even in the different keyboards. You know, when synthesizer came on the scene, it's like piano wasn't valuable
anymore.
Was valuable. You have the synthesizer, you have the Prophet 5, you have the Oberheim, and you have all of these new keyboards. So music is always going to be evolving. So the way I see it, Bob would not change his mission as a musician.
Just the tempo.
But I can say he wouldn't change the way a production would take place. You know, when you check Burning and Catch a Fire, and compare that to Rastaman Vibration, and then you compare that to Could You Be Loved, you can hear that the man was in flavors within the music, but his mission was straightforward, and that would never change. I don't think that would ever change, you know, see.
Now, you redid a Bob Marley song, all right? Get Up, Stand Up.
Yeah. Yes.
Was beautifully done. Now,
that was Bob Marley. Peter Tosh wrote that one.
Yes.
I also did a version of One Love that is on the same album, Musical Unity. And remember, One Love was from Curtis Mayfield. And Bob put his twist to it, but he still gave Curtis Mayfield some credit.
Some credit, yes.
You know, bigger than Curtis Mayfield song ever was.
Okay.
So, yes, two songs. Why did I do One Love? I don't think you can ever say enough of One Love. So I give thanks that I could actually say, I am living for one love. Jah,
okay.
Rastafari.
No.
I do stand up. Get up, stand up is the time that we are in. Jah, Rastafari. Preach a man. Heaven is under the earth. Because I know you don't know what life is really worth. It's not all that glitter is gold. And half the story has never been told. But now that it's
get up for your right.
Stand up for
no.
our right today. Unity, Chacha. Unity in the family. Unity in the community. Unity of the nation. Let's build bridges, Chacha, and not break the bridges. Today there is money going into weapon of mass destruction and its creation than it's going into preserving the health of the afflicted. Chacha. So my cry is the cry of a people.
Okay.
Chacha. It is that there is a people that is oppressed by evil ways and evil leaders and evil laws. Chacha. So we have to be crying out for those people. When we have music, we can't just say, baby, I love you, and get down and do the boogie and woogie. Not just all of that, but get up and stand up, you know, see. Because that we need people to get up and stand up.
Yes.
For righteousness. Chacha.
Rastafari. No, with that said and done, especially with that song that's been done by Bob, you get like when you put that on an album and stuff like that. How does that work out? I know you get the performance rights to that song, even though you may put credit.
Well, the writer's right goes to the writer.
The writers, but you get the performance right.
Goes to the publisher. If the writer have sold their publishing rights to some publisher, then the publisher's right goes to that publisher.
Yeah.
If they kept their publishing rights, then the publishing and the writing belong to the writer. So I had to get what you call a license clearance to cover the song.
From the publisher.
Credit where credit is due.
Okay, that's why I never know especially when you do cover version. I didn't know until a couple of weeks ago. I was taught, like, I didn't know, because there's so much in it, especially when you do a cover version, and also you get certain rights from doing version. Also, I didn't even know that. So it's so much to learn in the music business, and you know it. You know it, which is good. That's why I
took time out of my career because I'm with the entrepreneurship ability within the musical industry,
right?
Where I learned to write my own song and produce my own record and to manage my own career. And I have taught my children pretty well. And I know that a lot of people in the industry have problems with the way they stand up for their rights.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Probably a lot more things could have happened if they had let some guy come in and claim that I discovered, I did this. But they determined to give the glory of their prosperity to the Almighty. Gotcha. And that's why no guy can come and claim it. Say, I me boss them and me do this and no. Jah Rastafari did all of that.
Yes.
And
I know
the labor, physical come through on the track of the music.
I know
they learned the business of music.
I know at one point you were managing Morgan Heritage, and then you handed over to them.
Well, I was the first manager, and I will always be the manager. I am the people. And the career does not determine the stature of the relationship within the family. So I remain the patriarch of the family. And the music business, we always have discussion. But I've reached to the point where my children have the creative ability and the business knowledge of the music to create for themselves, to collaborate with people, and to handle their business. I am pretty much satisfied with their capability. And that's why I'm putting some time now into me again, and with a new set of musicians that represent the outer circle of our musical living.
Black Eagle. Yes.
That's right.
Beautiful. And I know definitely within a couple weeks we're gonna come face to face. So I'm definitely looking forward for that.
Leader Simon White, Rhythm Inc. Band. Their first single will be released on this coming Friday on VP Distribution, VPAL, and ASAF Records, our independent label. The song is called Beautiful Day. And I hope that everyone will enjoy it as we put time into create it and send it out there. And the Black Eagles will have a new song coming out in 6 weeks. And I, Denroy Morgan, have a new song coming out next week, Friday, which is the last single from the Musical Unity album. And this song is called His Majesty's Speech on Religion. And I also have a cannabis song that will be released before the summer is over. So we are doing a lot of work in the studio now, and we expect to have a lot of new music between Simon White and the Rhythm Inc. Band, the new Black Eagles featuring I Ambassa, and Denroy Morgan and the Black Eagles. So that's within the camp. And Morgan Heritage is also working on their new album. And Laza is also working on some new music. So within the camp,
yes,
creativity that's yes now.
How much tracks be coming out with on the album?
And which album?
The one that you releasing.
You mean Musical Unity?
Yes. How many tracks on there?
There's 13 tracks on there.
Oh, 13 tracks. Okay. Now, one question I want to ask you. How would you like to be remembered?
How would I like to be remembered? As a blessed man. As a family man.
Family man for real.
And a contributor to the music industry. That's the reality of my living. I am a blessed man. And it's because of my calling and my obedience to my calling why I've been given the anointing to declare the glory of the King. Jaja. So my faith is not a fad. Jaja. It has no fade to fade. And when I am no longer in the flesh, my faith will live into other human beings. So my life will always be alive. Jaja. I will remember true life. Jaja. So I life dead. Jaja.
No.
And that which I must live in other human being. Otherwise, it is not what it's supposed to be. Because he who is in you must be in I. Chacha. No, we try to put away me and you business and deal with I and I to create the understanding of oneness and the equality of life. Chacha. Because each one of us were created equally. So in terms of what would I like to be remembered, is by life.
Yes.
Jaja. Not by death. Jaja. I would choose life over death every time.
There you go.
It is the way I live that will live.
Yes.
I try to live in the light of blessings, that the Creator can be glorified, that He has given me such a life. Jaja. And as a family man, yes. Because there is great value in family. And if you don't have a child, you're somebody's child. So the value of family must be in every human being. Because it takes a united, a blessed family to be a blessing to the community. And when you have blessed and united community, you can build united and blessed nations. Today there is so much division that I would risk my life fighting for unity. All I'm asking for is purity within the unity. Jaja.
Tell me something.
That is the fullness.
Tell me something that you love and why.
Something that I love.
And why?
I love the energy of love. The energy of love produces life.
Like that. Like that. Energy of love.
Say it without elaborating.
Yes. No, sir. So hold on now. So what must we look forward in seeing you doing this summer now? This summer, you're hot right now.
I would like for some promoters to offer us some dates. I will be focusing within the next 2 months to get the summer lineup for new release from Simon White and the Rhythm Inc. For new release for Denroy Morgan and the Black Eagles. For new release for the Black Eagles and I Am Basta. I'm focusing on having that rolling for the summer. And we are ready to do some live shows. Our ministry, which is called the Abrahamic Covenant Family Ministry, is an online ministry because I do believe that our liberty has become a ministry. And when I say our liberty, I'm not applying that to Denroy Morgan. I'm applying that to Black people, Jaja. Because we have lived a life that put us into an underprivileged position. We have not been given the right to get the right education, even within the system of America today. And one thing I would like to see happen to us is that our African leaders become more unified and look to ourselves. Because one of the things His Majesty says that we are looking out of ourselves. Because Africa, all that Africa needs is within her. And we need to not look to Europe and America to take care of our educational budget and our health budget for our community. And we don't need to sell the material that makes steel for it to go to China and become steel and come back to us with triple the price.
Yes.
We there can create steel factory. So, you know, I know that the African today, you know, even in Ethiopia, I would think at least 60% of the people are below the age of 35. And pretty much the same thing in Ghana. And the young energy is there. And we need to be inspirational, even as Jamaican and as musicians who are race conscious, who are Africa conscious, and who are repatriation conscious, and who are reparation conscious, and who are health conscious. We, the Africans, are looking to us. I have seen it and I've heard it I've heard Mr. Ralland, when he was Prime Minister of Ghana, spoke in Jamaica. And one of the things he said was a little disappointed to some of our brethren there. That's our brethren there are looking for repatriation. And Mr. Ralland was saying, you are blessed to be Africa's foot in the West. Because he, as a Prime Minister, wanted to give one of his sons an African warrior's name. And he had to check with England to get permission to give his an African name. And we out here in the West, we can name our children whatever we want to name them. Oh. So he was trying to show us that, and for us to be Africa foot in the West. And my point is that you don't have to go to Africa to be help to Africa, because we are Africans here, not because we were born in Africa, but Africa is born in us. And this is the consciousness that the Rastaman is bringing, that the value of Africanness must be recognized by black people. And I've used the word black folks, black people, quite a few times on this interview. Because if I don't start to look out for my people, how can I look out for some other people? Because I have an identity. I see fish, you have shark, you have whale, you have snapper, you have parrot, you have doctor. They are all fish. Mm-hmm. And most time of fish will tell you that when you eat a school of fish, they are the same type of fish.
Same type of fish.
So we say His Majesty's world rightful ruler. Mm-hmm. So we must represent the dignity of His Majesty around the world. Mm-hmm. So I support the drive for reparation. I support the drive for repatriation. I support the drive for liberation. Mm-hmm. I support the drive for redemption. I support the drive for restoration. Yes. And we should support that energy from wherever in the world we are. Cha-cha.
Rastafari. Now, if I come to Atlanta, come by the house, and we are chill, we are talk, what type of food does Ras Denroy eat? What's his specialty?
I like a lot of grains, beans. I like a lot of greens. I cut down on the meat eating because chicken in America, the brethren says not chicken, is sicking. The amount of things chicken to available for meat so quickly make it sickening. It's sickening, not chicken.
Chicken.
And the same thing with the cow, cha-cha. Because they're putting things in there. They're weaponizing the food, you see? And just the same way they're trying to weaponize the herb, the way we know herb grow in Jamaica, mm-hmm. and also the herb I grow in America today.
In California, nope.
Rastafari. So, you asked me a question about what would you eat at my house? Mm-hmm. If I offer you a meal, it would be a meal that relates to healthiness, not just a belly full. Mm-hmm. You don't eat pork. Some of the families still want to eat a little oxtail, a little cow foot, and those kind of things. And I eat it with them still. And the fish, after I cut down on the fish, because there's some things where they must sell all plastic fish now. Mm-hmm. So the whole about eating, brethren, all when they say, yeah, eat organic, them still apply the organic and put the organic label on it. And it's all a system. There is poisoning up the people to diminish the population. And it is systemically placed in the way we eat, in the way we drink, and in the way we walk today. So we got to be aware. And for me to say, because I eat a lot of grains and a lot of, I want to tell you, one of the most special things is the Irish mash still.
The Irish mash.
Yeah, the Irish mash. The seaweed is a good thing.
Yeah.
And let's stay away from the meat. Let's stay away from the flesh.
Definitely. So, now, who is your friend? Who do you call your friend?
Who do I call my friend?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of friends, you know. There's a lot of friends. But you know who is my friend?
Mm-hmm.
Who see eye to eye with eye. Because then we can walk. Two cannot walk unless they agree.
True.
And that's why we need to come to the understanding of why unity is valuable.
Mm-hmm.
So my friend is one who I see as family. Trust me. I can't bother with the friend thing. Once you find a oneness with my energy, you are my family.
Okay.
Can you say friend and company?
Mm-hmm. No.
Because my children, them don't bring home friend I have. Any friend them have is always a friend of the family. Gramps do have him friend, and Peter have him friend, and Laza have him friend, and Miriam have her friend. You know, they may keep that in school. But in terms of, you know, a lot of people, they have party at their home, kids party, and friend come over, and friends sleep over, and their kids sleep over. And we never had that principle in our house.
Mm-hmm.
So, the whole friend and company thing, I have brethren.
Mm-hmm.
Tootsie Bird is my brethren.
Yes. Long time.
As from
Long
we learn
time.
to go steal watermelon and eat it together when we can't eat up the whole light and we don't want people to know, say we pick one, we dig ground and bury the other half of it. Those things I remember with my brethren, Toots. So, you know, there is a childhood, you know,
Yes, respect on that, man. Respect on that. Now, as we're wrapping up here in the next 12 minutes, you know,
yes,
I want to play this other song before, you know, Tired of Being Alone. And I love the song itself. Ladies and gentlemen, as we say, no, Mr. Morgan is here, Denroy Morgan. And I tell you, with the fullness that we have here, I am so happy to have him in my studio, have him in my presence. I tell you, anytime you really look at this interview, you'll see how they're behaving in the room right now. You know, everybody has something to say about you in the room right now. And you're going to see it. You're definitely going to see the feedback that they're giving you, the energy that they're giving in the room here. I love that. And thanks to all the fans and for those who logging in for the first time, who always heard about him. Now you get to see about him, hear about him, know about him. And you could get to appreciate his music even more and go out. Now, before, I want you to tell the different outlets that you have your music available for the fans.
Well, first, I want to say thanks to the English people who have been supporting my children and their over the years. And I pray that pretty soon I will come and deliver some of the music that I've created with people that are not my children by blood. So thanks to the British people who support us over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Donovan in Germany. And I just want to say that my music is being distributed by VP, and it is on my own label, which is Ace of Records.
Nice.
Recent album is called Musical Unity. You can get it wherever digital music is being sold. My current single is called A Little More Love, and there's a video out on it. And my upcoming single will be The Speech of His Majesty on Religion. And I pray that you listen to the words of His Majesty on that cut, which will be released next week, Friday.
No point.
All my music is available. All my music that has been released is available on the digital outlet, the Amazon and the iTunes and wherever it, Apple, wherever it's sold, you can get it there. You can also follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram. And every now and then I have some young people around me and they'll do some what they call smart shot type of thing,
Smart shot. You know what? Listen. You know what I like about you? How do you rate your own performance?
My own performance?
Yeah, how do you rate your? Give me from 1 to 10. How you rate your own performance?
About a 7.
More than that, man. I tell you.
No, that's
really.
I reached to 10, but I must respect those that I see that are more advanced than I, and bring something else to a performance. Because I'm not that great of a dancer. I can move, I can groove.
You could move and groove. I definitely know that.
And I'm not a melodious type of singer. I'm a rhythmic type of singer. So I like to listen to melodious singers. And I will have to say I give respect to that. But I know myself, I don't try to become that. I be me. So I wouldn't rate myself more than about a 7.
I see your performance. I see your performance, especially every time I see a performance, I'll do anything for you. It's fun for me just to watch you back and forth on stage, and you get the audience them into your song. You understand?
Yeah.
You get everybody into your song.
Yeah. I see what I do, and if you look at me, you will see that I'm feeling it, and eventually the energy will come into you.
There you
see,
go. That's the thing.
So that's why I talk so much about energy, because I see that energy in music is a very touching thing. It makes your body move.
Yes.
Because of what you hear. So I'm hoping that, this year, the work that I'm doing, by next year, promoters will be inviting me to do some events.
Okay.
I started last year, June, to reboost my musical career and to establish the Abrahamic Covenant Family Ministry as an online ministry. And I'm looking that this year, what we have created last year, I will be able to present it this year. And by next year now, I will be ready to go out and represent it.
Yes.
So
hopefully you get to do your tour out of that.
We'll find an interest,
yes,
because there's an audience that wants to see me. I want to hear me.
All right. With that being said and done, let me get into that song. Donovan in the room. Enough respect on that. Keep spreading that. Keep spreading that in the room. All right.
I'm so tired. I'm so tired. What's going on? Hey.
Morgan. Them in the room, I tell me if you pull up, like me there on my turntable. I'm playing through the computer, ladies and gentlemen, and the pull up right here. And the power pull up, and I'm not on my turntable. Ladies and gentlemen, this come Friday, I will be featuring more of his tracks. All right, when I'm doing the show. All right, the DJ show. So I'm not talking about pull up now, and a pull up time, my interview time.
On the album Unity, the speech of his mind on religion is on it. So I would appreciate if you play that for me next time you play a set of my songs.
Yes, I will.
The speech of religion. Because the songs that is on the album Musical Unity, but that one means a lot to me and my faith. Cha-cha. And my ministry and my life. It's just like I was saying that Don't Have to Dread means so much to me. Over all the songs that Morgan Heritage have written, I think that is one of the most profound statements. So for me, His Majesty's speech on religion is
also for you something that
on this album Musical Unity. So I appeal to you, my brother, please give me some love for that track.
I will. Now, I have folks in the room from the UK. They keep saying multiple times, I don't know if he can do it. If he can, he will. But I'm gonna say to him, they want to do something a cappella for them. By the way, the concept of the song that I just played a while ago. Tell me about that. It reminds me so much of Al Green.
It is an Al Green song.
The Al Green song that you did, right? Now, why did you decide to put your piece in it?
That was recommended by the record company, RCA Records. They are the one that asked me to do it. And because I'm a man that I don't like loneliness.
So you decided to do that? I like
to be around people. So I felt comfortable doing it. And, you know, when you're working with manager and producer and record companies, sometimes you have to do something that you feel and you really don't want to do. So but it's not a song that I was going to bring to the table.
Okay.
You know, Jah Rastafari, I brought that to the table. Okay. And a song like, you know,
and you did a good
to time. And that is when you need a friend through your hard time. They make you promise they never fulfill, but you got to pay your bills. And when you think it's over, that's when my true voice come over. Hold on to the good things that you know. Hold Jaja. Rastafari.
Rastafari.
The one. Here it is. I said, oh, we are together, together, together. The more we are together, here we shall be. My love, your love, and your love is my love. So the more we are together, together. I said, the more we are together, is the happier we shall be. Why? My God is your God is my God. So the more we are together, fire, together, fire, together, fire. The more we are together, is the happier in Mount Zion.
Yes.
More Zion. We are chanting Hala, Hala. Rastafari.
Nice. Now,
Precious love is the one precious love. I and my sins are all forgiven. I and I Zion. One precious love is the door.
Rastafari, bless us, bless us, bless us. I tell you, definitely, rest, Denroy Morgan. You came, you saw, and you still conquering. Respect,
Jaja.
respect.
Lion of Joe shall break every chain. The Lion of Judah shall break every chain. The Lion of Judah shall break every chain.
Give us the victory. Again and again.
Conquering love shall break every chain.
Mm-hmm.
The conquering love
I'll break every chain.
conquering love shall break every chain.
Give us the victory. Again and again. Yes.
Conquering love shall break every chain. Oh, Jaja, conquering love. Jaja, conquering love shall break every chain. Hallelujah. And give us victory again.
Yes.
And give holy again.
Yes. Yes.
In Mount Zion, more Zion, we're chanting high. Oh, yeah. Rastafari.
Rastafari. Blessed love.
Every time.
Every time. You understand? Every time. And to end my program, because you open it with a blessing. And it's so good about it. You always greet every interview that you've done. Anytime you're speaking to edify somebody, you always give them that greeting. And it's a blessing.
Hallelujah.
And just to close my show this evening, I want you to end it also with a benediction.
Yes, for us to dwell together in unity. It's like the precious ointment upon the head that went down to the beard, even hair and beard that went down to the skirt of his garment. It's like the dew of firmament that ascended up on Mount Zion, where the Lord God of Israel commanded the blessings, even life, forevermore. Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ taught us how to pray. He said we ought to say, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is. Give us this day collectively our daily bread, and forgive us of all our trespasses, as we forgive those that trespass. Let nothing or anyone lead us into temptation, but through your mercy and your grace, we ask you to deliver us collectively and individually from all evil, Almighty God. Deliver us from the evil of the ear, the evil of the sea, the evil of the earth, and the evil of ourselves. Deliver us, Holy Elijah, from all evil, Holy Elijah. Let the blood of Yeshua, Elohim, the Son of the living God, cut and clear from the east to the west, from the north to the south, from the depths to the heights. Remove all unclean energy, Almighty Jah, and evilous ways within the human iration. Cha-cha, deliver us. For thine is the kingdom. Yeah. Thine is the kingdom. Oh, Elijah. Thine is the power. Yeah. And thine is all the glory forever and evermore. Selah. Oh, let the words of our mouth
and the meditation of our heart be acceptable in thy sight, in my strength, Redeemer.
But our strength and our Redeemer. Thou art the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, who liveth and reigneth in the hearts of all man, woman, and children, forever and evermore. Yeah. Blessed love.
Thank you.
Pastor.
Rastafari. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And I know we're going to talk in a couple more weeks, and we will meet up in a couple more weeks. And as we say, one God, one aim, one destiny.
Every time.
Rastafari. Thank you. And we're going to leave out on one of the songs that I played earlier on. Ladies and gentlemen, thank each and everyone in the room right now for logging in and to keep this interview what it is. To all fans and friends of Ras, Denroy Morgan, and the Line TV show, 555. Enough respect. Good night, each and everyone, as we end.
Whenever you come in touch with true love, you can never get enough. You'll always find yourself.
Good night, everybody. That's okay.
Wanting a little more. That's a little more love.
Oh.
I woke up this morning to my favorite morning show. But the same sad news from yesterday was on the radio. I woke up this morning to my favorite morning show. But the same sad song from yesterday was on the radio. Too long in the same situation, the world in a new direction. Too long in the same situation, the world in a new direction. Too long in the same situation, the world in a new direction.
Right.
You know it's the same everywhere. A little more love and harmony. Kindness and understanding. You and me. A little more love.
Listening.
Harmony. Kindness and understanding. You and me. Oh, for the children is dying.
Yeah, cool.
Together somehow find a solution. Voices aloud for all to hear, and we can hear their cry. Let them know that someone cares.
Yes,
So
hooray!
we can all rejoice.
Your love.
Kindness for you and me. Kindness and wait.
This world can be much better if we all join hands together. My brothers and my sisters don't have to be so bitter. All up to the choice we made, depending on faith. We could live together as one, united, standing strong.
Oh,
Kindness and understanding. You and me.
kindness and understanding.
Before I end the show, Mr. Morgan, guess what? I forgot to thank Claire. Get me? Still there?
Big up to Claire. She is the one that make it all happen. She worked very hard for this.
Oh my God, if she worked hard for this, we definitely got to show enough love to Claire. You know what I'm saying? Claire, Chris Lock that's in the room, he made it possible for me and Ras Denroy Morgan to make that link. And I tell you, she worked hard. She called me right around the clock for this. So,
Yes.
and she know you're so good.
Thank you very much, my brother.
Yes, take care. One love, one aim, one destiny as we go on. Ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a good night. Take care. Bye-bye.
Kindness